In the early 70s, black people in Milwaukee were doing exceptionally well, and that was because people had those family supporting jobs in the factories. But when those jobs started to go away, you started to see changes happen in neighborhoods. And so what you have now is you have a city full of people that are making less money than they made on average back in 1970.
Milwaukee is in the midst of an affordable housing crisis where 1 in 3 renters are spending half or more of their income on housing. Reggie Jackson is a nationally heralded independent scholar and co-founder of Nurturing Diversity Partners, an organization dedicated to fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion within institutions and communities.
45% of blacks own their homes, but in Milwaukee it's only 27%, and that's the second lowest of the 50 largest cities in the country. Black home ownership really peaked nationwide in about 2005, and it's been going down ever since. And so unless we're able to kind of figure out a way to particularly provide funding for people who are lower income to become homeowners, it's going to continue to be a real challenge, increasing the home ownership rate among the Black and Latino population in Milwaukee.
For most families, housing is their largest expense. So when they're forced to spend more than half of that income on housing, they're 23% more likely to have difficulty purchasing food, 28% more likely to be without health insurance, and almost twice as likely to lack a car. Not to mention, it can make saving for large expenses, like a down payment for a house, nearly impossible.
The issues that have brought us to this point in Milwaukee, they go back about 90 years ago when you started to see neighborhoods were designated as hazardous. What redlining did was keeping people in a very specific area. Unless you moved out of that area, it was practically impossible to get a home loan in those neighborhoods.
Systemic inequalities of redlining and housing disparities have shaped our community where, in the 4-county metro Milwaukee area, nearly 3 out of 4 black families do not own the home they live in, while nearly 3 out of 4 white families do.
Blacks and Hispanics got a higher interest rate on their loans. They had to pay larger fees. It's not something that's legal, but it happens all the time. It prevents people from really becoming homeowners. And you also don't build that generational wealth that being a homeowner provides and making their neighborhood, their community, a healthier community.
In the U.S., the most common barriers to home ownership are large down payments, the rising cost of housing, and the denial of affordable loans.
I've been advocating for a number of years that one of the key indicators of the health of the city is the health of our neighborhoods. When you go into neighborhoods that have low home ownership rates, those neighborhoods will be the types of neighborhoods where you'll see those houses fall into disrepair, and eventually they get so bad that the city tears the houses down. We're able to raise that home ownership rate, get people to stay in neighborhoods, stabilize neighborhoods. We'll see a lot of the issues that we see as a city really begin to be mitigated by home ownership.